options available. And this we can apply. So that means these classes. But see here, we have a class like this is check to circle. That is the check to circle. And we have to apply the class. This right side you can see BI and BI check to circle. That is for check. You can use this class name. BI and BI check to circle is the class name. You can apply this class. So that is for applying that class. And one more, suppose, so error, suppose I want to display as error, something like error. We don't have error, so I say some uncheck. So I say some cross. So close. You can see you have this X circle. So this is X circle. That is the class. I want to use that. BI X circle is another class. So these are the Bootstrap classes actually. Now we can apply them. If you linked them, what you can do is for this MSG, which is a span, for that we can apply dot class name. So, and the class name I am giving as BI. So BI circle 2 and circle 2 check to circle. Yeah, check to circle. That's the option I am defining. And here I am applying the class. So that is BI and BI. So we have X circle. So these are like applying some CSS classes for them. But still actually, when I type here, so HTTP, that class name is displayed. So that means, so it is not applying the class name is displayed because that MSG is actually, so here class name, right? Yeah. Inner HTML. So class name, we are displaying as class, right? Now I entered here, you can see we defined HTTP. You can see the cross mark will be there. So height, width, you can adjust for that. You can configure for that. So, and one more class we need to apply here is, so the class, because already it is using input group text. This class you should not skip because it will remove that and it will apply this. You have to apply the class as input group text. So it will use that class and it will handle it. That symbol will come. The cross symbol is there. Some www.yoursite.org. Now it will show the tick mark right side. If it is not, it should show the cross mark right side. We can apply the colors also there. We can define the colors also there. So how you can apply the colors? If it is org, then text success. So here we say some text danger. Additional some classes also we are applying for that. Text success and text danger. And here we are typing, it will give red color. www.yoursite.com. So it's red.org. Now it is green. It is showing those colors. You can change the shades and colors and effects according to your requirement. So you can add all your classes to make it change the size, font, bold, italic, anything. Now these days we use these symbols very regularly. So this is to understand the concept of working with start with, end with, how you can start and end with. So, and how we can deal with. So generally, when you are configuring and working with the classes, now you can try these bootstrap classes for icons. Of course, you can apply Font Awesome also. So it depends. So which one you want, you can configure and use it. This is regularly seen in the websites. So regularly seen in the website. Now I will just copy this code for you. I hope everyone understood this. What is start with, what is ends with, right? Already I told you so many times that it is not inside the text box. So that is not inside the text box. It is outside the text box. So nothing will be there inside the text box. If you see anything like inside the text box, so that is actually not inside. It is input group. Understood? There will be nothing inside the text box. That is not a text box. If you see inside, they might be using a div. Understood? No. Right? It is not a text box. They might be using a div. You cannot display anything inside text box. First point to ask that question. Now tell me, text box allow any symbols inside it? Vishal, will text box allow any images or symbols inside it? Then, so that means that is not text box. You can see that designed by using various classes. So that means what they do is they remove the borders. They keep the border for divs. Inside the div, they put the image or symbol and they make it look like text box. You cannot have symbols inside the text box. It's not possible. That is obviously everything is designed with input group only. I already told you so many times. It is input group only. Suppose I am not giving this input group text for this span. That class is not given for it. Input group text is not given for it. And I am typing something. Now it is inside the text box. So you don't give input group text for it. I am not giving any input group text class. We are not applying that. We are not applying input group text class. That means it's not having a color. And when I type this, it will be like this. So now what they do is they remove the border and they remove the border for the text box. That means we can remove the border for text box. And after removing the border, they will make it look like in one box. So that is general CSS, right? So it is not text box, right? So anything cannot be shown inside the text box. So what they have to do is they have to design in such a way that it is having a border with a div. Inside the div, they display the message. 100 to 100%, it is not possible to keep anything inside text box. Understood? It's an input group. They design CSS in that way. Okay, right. Let's give the class as input group text. Okay, here also we will give input group text. Group text. And here also input group text. Fine. That is the option. Okay. Now it looks fine. When we are typing that, it is displaying that. Fine. Now I will copy this code. This is the code required for that. Yeah. This is creating and working with the functions start with and end with. These are string functions. Next important in the string functions, we have the functions like char at, and we have the functions like char code at, char code at. So these are the functions, so the methods of string handling, and they are used to return. So returns the character present at a specified index number, and returns the character code of you can say ASCII code of character at a specified index. Two options are there. Who will return the index number is so char at, and who will return the code is char code at. So this is the option actually. So now char at, that means it returns the character at specific index. You can verify whether the character is present or not, and you can check whether the character is available or not using this. Suppose I will create another option. Okay, I will create here simply to understand the concept here. Doc type HTML head title char. So, and in the body, we have suppose some username, or first we will see email, and I want to verify so whether email is having @ symbol or not, or I want to know whether it is starting with specific character or not, whether the character available or not. We can know that. I will show you. First, what is char at? It returns the character at specific position. Suppose you said some username. So, and input type is equal to text. And ID is txt name. I will keep a span ID as MSG. Now, when user finish typing that means I say on blur. That means when it is finished typing, verify name function should fire up. Here we are writing a script function, so verify name. And what we need to do here is, here we have to check the values. So first, var name. So say username. So document get element by ID txt name dot value. Okay. Next, I need to verify, and I need to make sure that the name starts with a character or some yes character. Anything other than that, I don't want to allow. Or I want the name to start with uppercase letter. Then what we can do is, here we can write a condition. So first character, we are accessing first character. How to access the first character and get the first character code? First character code. I want to get it. We can access username, that is the variable, dot char code at 0. That means it returns the first character code. Whatever the first character you typed, it returns the first character code. So what is our condition here is, I will put a placeholder saying that name must start with uppercase letter. Name must start with uppercase letter. So here I am defining that. So name must start with uppercase letter. Let's run that and see. Okay. So this is the text box. Name must start with uppercase letter. So I given the size as some 40. Okay. When user enters the name, if it is not starting with uppercase letter, it should show error warning. Then how do we know the first character is uppercase letter? You can use regular expressions, or you can simply verify the character code directly. So when to verify? So when you finish it the name, it should verify. So get the character code present at 0 index means first one. And that character code will come here. And we have to write a simple another MSG document get element by ID MSG, that is span. Here we write a condition. If the message so whatever the not message, first character, if first character code is greater than or equal to 65 and first character code less than or equal to 90, that means it is an uppercase letter. So that means I want to collect that and display. So that means msg.inner.html, and here I will write so your name and whatever the name they entered, username. So we will display username verified. So your name verified. That message should come. Okay. Otherwise, that means if it is not between 65 to 90, that means it's not an uppercase letter. 65 to 90 is the code for uppercase letters. That means A uppercase starts with 65 and Z uppercase Z ends with 90. 65 to 90 number is uppercase letters. If not, then msg.inner.html I should display here. So name must start with uppercase letter. So this is the condition. We are displaying the message. Name must start with uppercase letter. So once we are typing the name here, any name I entered and I finish it, then it says name must start with uppercase letter. So I entered, so John, uppercase letter. Now name verified. If uppercase letter is not there, so then it will say invalid. So name must start with uppercase letter, and uppercase letter is there, then it is fine. So that means we can identify which character it is starting with. So by using caret, and which character code it is starting with. So char code at will return the character code. Char at will return the character directly. It will return the character. After returning the character, you can get its code, or you can use that character also. So for example, generally, so where we use this character, so which character they have typed. So we can get the position and we can verify. For example, if I am using char code, char at. That means you observe temporarily. I will put an alert and I will write here. So username dot char at 0. That means character at 0. Now you can see I finished typing here. So Ajay. Now you see character at A, it returns A. And it says that name verified. I'm entering lowercase, then it says it returns the character. So char at is going to return the character. So here I can simply say that, so your first character is this and it is not valid. I want to display that also. That means I want to return that first character. So what I can do is, when it shows error message, name must start with uppercase letter. So, and you entered. So what he entered, I need to get its value. That means username dot char at 0. It will get that character. So that is the message we want to display. Let's keep the message in a div so that it can display in a new line. So this message is a div. So we have two options now, char and char coded. I'm entering like this. So then some like this, and it says name must start with uppercase letter. You entered A. Suppose I entered uppercase, then it is verified. Which character they entered, so it will display that character. And it is going to change that, and it is going to handle that. So that is basically so done by using char code at. Char at not only 0, at any specific index number. Because suppose I typed something like, so welcome. If I say char at I said 1, then it will return E. So which character is present at that particular index? Because index number starts with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. 5, 6 like this. From which position it is starting with, you can configure and you can define that. That's what actually character position, char at. So this is generally character position to work with. And we need to understand correctly how to define the characters and deal with the characters. Sometimes we need to work with the characters. Sometimes we need to work with character codes. So this is an example for both of them. Which character you are writing and what is its ASCII code, so that we can verify whether it is a capital letter or small. We can get that and display. So that is the character. Later you will learn how to check capital letter entered or not. How to check so caps lock is on or not. Such things you are going to verify later. That means such things you are going to check later. So for that we have to technically understand key events. When you know about the key events, then you can handle those options also, right? Initially, so we have to use char and char code. Later, if you know key events, you can get and verify even whether caps lock entered or not, caps lock key pressed or not. You can check them. Right? That is one option. And another in the methods, we have index of, and we have last index of. So actually what this will do is it will search for any specific character in a string. Search for any specific character in a string and return its index number. So what it will do is, if character not found, not found, then it returns -1. It returns -1 if the character not found. It returns -1. So it will search for any specific character. So generally, you have an option. Last index of. Last index of is nothing but will search for last index of will search for last occurrence of character in a string. That means sometimes a character may repeat several times. If a character is repeating, to get the last occurrence, so we have to use last index of. To get the first occurrence, we have to use index of. We have to use index of and last index of. That is generally used for verifying. Actually, we can also use search to search for any particular string. Search method is used for searching and returning any specific string. So based on index number or based on search, we can handle that. So, but search will return Boolean true or false actually. And if not found, it will return -1. Here index number it will return. Search will not return index number. What search will do is, so search will generally, it is going to return a Boolean. But index of, see, search also can return index number. But the point is, you can search for multiple characters. You can search for a complete string. And it will show from which index it is starting with. Starting with index number, it will show. Search actually. And this is just, it will search for your string and gets the index number. So it is used to verify whether there is a character or not. I will show you here. So how we can do that. So let's take an example of, email something. So we are not writing complete email .html. So we are just verifying @ symbol is there or not. Doc type HTML head title and head, and in this we have title. So, and index. Okay, let's go to the body and say your email. And the input type is equal to text. I need to verify. Actually, for email, we have email input type. But if I want to check whether the @ symbol is there or not, txt email. Okay, then message, I will keep a div and ID as MSG. So here I will verify on blur. So verify email. And here we are writing a script and function. So that is verify email. Verify email. And here we are verifying where email is equal to document get element by ID. Txt email dot value, whatever email they entered. And here we are writing and where MSG document get element by ID. Get element by ID MSG. Okay, here we are writing a condition. If email dot index of @ so invalid. So @ required. So that is the option. Else it should display msg.inner email verified. That means we are checking so whether that character is present in a string or not. If character is present, it will return the character index number. If character is not present, it will return -1. Anything other than -1 means it is present. It will not return anything negative. So only -1 or 0, 1, 2, 3. Like that. So here you can see now when we are running this and email. So I entered like john@gmail.com. Then it says invalid @ required. And I entered @ then it is done, email verified. And one more problem will be that actually you can enter @ anywhere inside the string. It is invalid. I entered at the beginning, then it says verified. But for that we need to write the conditions. That means I want not to start with @ Then you can write one more condition. That means email index number should be -1 if it is -1. And we can also write the condition, or you can write or email dot index of @ is less than 2. That is invalid. Less than 2 means, so if it is, you can simply put less than 2 instead of -1. We can directly put here. So if it is less than 2, directly, no need of or, because less than 2 means -1 also will come. So @ is required, or one more condition is here we will display that. So minimum 2 characters for email. So minimum 2 characters for email, or you can put a message, right? Yeah, minimum 2 characters for email. Actually, this is nothing but, suppose you have, so john@gmail.com. So it says invalid. I entered here @ Now email verified. I moved this @ and kept it in the beginning, then it says invalid. Because having email with @ is not important for us. Not only that, we want at specific position also. That means it should not be less than 2 characters. In that case, we can write like this. So that means it includes, so -1, so or less than 2 means 0, 1, 0, -1, anything, then it will show invalid. So that is to understand, get the index number, how we can get the index of the particular character. If it is not returned, it will return an error. We can use these in several other examples also. Here I am showing you syntactically some examples. In several other examples in future, we can work with them and we can use them. So when to use index of, when to use last index of to verify the character's index number and use them. So such validations, I will give you some exercise which you can implement and use them. And actually, to search for that, we also have the option search. We can also use search. Search is a very old option. We always prefer using index of and the last index of options. And next important, so very much important while working with this is a string function is trim. Actually, trim is used for, so it is used for, it is used to remove trailing spaces. It is used for removing trailing spaces. Trailing spaces means the additional spaces that come before and after the string. Additional spaces come before and after the string. So that is also important. Why? Because sometimes observe here, suppose here, I will just give this as so option like a verify password. And here I am writing verify password. So, and that is verify password. And what we want here is txt password. Actually, it should be input type text or password. First, I will keep text so that you can see what I am typing there. See here, what we are doing is we are writing if var parliament get element by id txt password dot value. Okay, and msg document get element by id. So msg. Okay. Here I am verifying if password is matching with John12. Then msg dot inner html. We should display password verified. Else, so msg dot inner html invalid password. Now observe carefully. Now what happens usually is whatever the password you entered, so we are collecting and verifying. And here, so your password, okay. That is the text to display your password. I'm entering here the password as John12. And I finish it typing there. It says invalid password. But I am using John12 only. It is showing invalid password. Why it is showing invalid password? Because accidentally, so a blank space came before that John. And it is using that blank space. Accidentally, that happens regular. So sometimes you pressed a space bar and you started typing something. That means these are leading spaces. If it is, I remove that, then it is fine. Sometimes I use after that blank space, then you see it says invalid password. But actually, our password is correct, but extra one space came. Due to that, it will say invalid. Such problems will come regularly while typing from the keyboard. That's the reason what we do is we will delete the additional characters, blank spaces. Additional blank spaces before and after. For that, what you do is before comparing the password, you just use password.trim. Trim is a method which removes the unnecessary blank spaces and verify. That means even I enter blank space, you see, I entered blank space, John12, then it says verified. Now, no problem because it trims that space, additional space and verifies. So that means extra spaces I said, some John12 verified. So John12, so this is invalid. John12, after that spaces I added. So it's okay, password is verified. It will clean up those spaces and verify. That is how we can handle that trim. It is very important because when you are dealing with string inputs, we can expect a lot of blank spaces to enter. Then you have to manage that by using this trim method. So this is an example to work with trim, how we can define and use the trim option. So in the string functions, this is regularly used. So some more options like converting to uppercase, lowercase, substring, slice, some other string functions are there that we will see in our next session tomorrow, right? Mostly by tomorrow, we will finish all the string functions, okay? Then now I will give some exercises again on these string functions. So then we can go into non-primitive types like arrays, objects, how to handle them and how to work with them, okay? Tomorrow we'll continue with that.